Hi everybody, it's Tracy from Downward Dog Rising, and I'm going to give you a Pilates yoga workout today, a conditioning drill. So I'm traveling for the holidays, so wish everyone a peaceful, cheery holiday season. So let's begin. All right, I'm going to have everyone start off on all fours. We're going to do a little cat-cow just to warm up our spine. So I'm going to have you draw abdominals tight to low back. Inhale, lengthen head away from tailbone. Exhale, round your low back, scoop abdominal wall into your spine. So you're going to inhale, stretch apart. Exhale, abdominals draw tight to low back. Breathing in, stretch apart, lengthen your spine. Exhale, round your low back, space between shoulder blades, middle back. 3 more. Exhale, 2 more. And last one, breathing in, lengthen, and exhale. All right. Next, I want you to go into bird dog so you can strengthen your core. Make sure the low part of the back is not arching. Avoid arching. Draw your abdominals to your spine. So now you're going to take your opposite arm, your opposite leg away from your center. What I want you to do here, when we just did cat-cow, I want you to take your cat positioning from the low back, round the low back, reach under the arm, knee in, knee out, lengthen apart. We want to work your obliques now. Exhale, inhale, stretch apart. Exhale, inhale, lengthen. 7, keep drawing your core tight to your spine. 6, breathing in, exhale. 5, and 4, 3, stretch apart. 2 more. All right. Plant other side down. Okay, now we're going to switch sides. So you're going to keep lengthening head away from tailbone. Now you're going to do opposite arm, opposite leg. And then what I want you to do is just stretch apart. All right. Lengthen head away from tailbone, neutral spine, breathing in. Now you're going to exhale, reach under your arm, lengthen, scoop abdominals tight to low back, and 8, stretch apart, 7, think of you're wringing out a wet sponge around sides of rib cage, and 5, 4, breathing in, exhale, scoop in, 3 more, stretch apart, 2 more. And last one. All right. So now you're on all fours. What I want you to do here, keep a straight line from your hip to your knee. That protects low back. We're going to go into melting heart extended puppy pose. So I want you to slowly start to stretch forward. Forehead to the mat. Stretch your sits bones straight back behind you. If one hip is higher than the other, keep lengthening sits bones away from you so you can level out your hips. Pull your breastbone, your sternum forward and through the 2 arms, and just get that upper mid back to really stretch. Stay here and breathe. Expand into those ribs, breathing in. Feel ribs expand, maybe breathe into your belly if that's comfortable. Feel how the air comes back out. Exhale through your mouth. Feel the length of your spine. Head stretches away from your tailbone. Think of stretching from the armpits all the way down to your palms. Really get your spine to lengthen. Let's do 2 more inhales. And 1 more time, deep inhale. All right, from here, I'm gonna have you bring your hands directly underneath you. We're gonna do a little dolphin where I'm gonna have you feel like your shoulders drop down away from your ears. And we're just gonna come down to our forearms. I'm gonna have you take shoulder blades straight down your back, curl your toes underneath you, and basically, in Pilates, we would call this a pike, modified plank into a pike. For yoga, we're gonna call this one dolphin. So I want you to find neutral spine, front ribs meet back ribs, anchor the blades down your back. You're gonna slowly lift up, look at your knees, and then from here, you're gonna drop back into your modified plank, collarbones wide, shoulders out of ears. Exhale as you lift up, really feel your abdominals deepening in. Inhale to lengthen spine on the way down. And 8, stretch and reach, feel ribs wrap. And 7, exhale as you lift up. Inhale, stretch spine long. And 6, feel both sides of your ribs wrap around you, center, lengthen your back. And 5, really scoop core tight. And 4, look towards knees, keep neck long. And 3, elongate, breathing in, 2 more. All right, one more time, exhale. Hold your plank. Now do knee taps, tighten your core to your back. And inhale, exhale, reach, spine is long. And 8, work those obliques. 7, and 6, and 5, spine is long. And 4, and 3, 2 more. All right, we're gonna drop those knees. Sit back into Balasana, rest pose. So you're gonna bring your hips straight back over your heels. If you want, you can have your feet flat on the mat, or you can have your toes curled under. And just stay here for a moment. Really pull those sits bones behind you, create some length in your lumbar spine. When it stretch through that lumbo-dorsal fascia and the low back area. Pull your breastbone, your sternum forward and through the 2 hands, 2 arms, hold here, and breathe. Again, you're gonna feel a stretch across the shoulder blades in your back. Drop those sits bones away, elongate the low back, pull your breastbone forward, really stretch your spine in opposition. We do that a lot in Pilates. Yoga, we're just trying to create length in our spine, lining up our chakras. One more deep inhale. Slowly, you're gonna draw your hands close to you, under your shoulders, press up to hands and knees. Okay, next, let's do some Pilates push-ups. And this will help your Chaturanga, Dandasana, and Yoga. So we're making sure our shoulders drop down, away from our ears, sides and neck remain long. And we're not gonna go wide as we would in a traditional push-up. You could do this in a full-on plank, or you could modify by coming down to your knees. When our arms come in, you want to make sure shoulders avoid lifting. We have to keep them down, back, away from ears, and just keep anchoring the bottom tips of the shoulder blades deeper into your back muscles. So we want to be wide across front of shoulders and chest. Inhale as you lengthen your spine here. If you want, you could cross ankles just to give more support to the kneecaps. So you're going to come forward, your shoulders are straight over your wrists. And then I want you to just gently keep width across chest, and you're gonna inhale as you draw your elbows to your ribs. Exhale, you're gonna press straight back up. Scoop in, breathing in. Exhale, press straight back up. Neck is long. And 8. Draw core tight to low back. 7. And 6. Shoulders remain down, away from ears. 5. And 4. This will help with your Chaturanga Dandasana. And 3. 2 more. Awesome. Last one. Come all the way up to all fours, quadruped position. Okay, let's get a stretch in between our shoulder blades, middle back, thoracic spine. Let's do thread the needle. You're just gonna rotate, keep both hip bones facing straight down to your mat. Breathing in, open collarbone wide, away from center of chest, away from your breastbone. Space between shoulder blades, mid-back, that's where we're rotating from. Inhale, open. Okay, now we're gonna twist. We're gonna reach underneath the bottom arm. Slowly reach under your bottom arm. We're gonna bring our shoulder, side of neck to our mat. If it's within your practice and your shoulders stay down away from ears, you can slowly stretch top arm away. Anchor the blades down back. We're gonna stay here and breathe for a moment. Expand into your ribs. We want the air to separate the ribs, stretch your intercostal muscles. Breathe into that space, middle back between your two blades. Create some space in mid-spine, thoracic spine. In case you're tight there. Think of your sits bones sinking away from you, behind you. One more deep inhale. Slowly take your top hand, slide it in line under your shoulder. Press up, hands and knees, and we're gonna switch sides. So now you're gonna go the opposite direction. Your hip bones point to the mat. Breathing in, open shoulder, chest, collarbone wide. Really expand, feel chest open. Now we're gonna slowly twist, reach under the arm. Now you're gonna bring your shoulder, side of neck into mat. Now, if you can keep shoulder out of ear, slowly extend the top arm overhead. Just gonna stay here for a moment and breathe. Lateral ribcage expansion. Stretch those intercostals, create some length in mid-back. Opening your sideline, stretching out your spine. Breathing in, expand into lateral ribs. All right, let's do 2 deep inhales. And one more time, deep inhale, really feel those ribs expand. Slide your top arm in line under shoulder, press down into mat, come up to hands and knees. All right, so I want to activate lower abdominals for this next one, and then we're just going to take our toes, curl them under, keep the elongation in your low back area, gently keep pressing palms away from breastbone into your mat, lift up through breastbone so that weight goes across mid-back rather than down into your wrist. Float your knees up off the floor, off your mat, and just hold it here, keeping the length in your spine. Gonna hold for 10 seconds here. I'm gonna work those lower abdominals, keeping your spine neutral, supported. Halfway there. And 3, and 2, and gently, slowly start to press into a downward dog. No worries if your heels do not touch down onto the mat. Gently start to pull those sits bones away from you, down, lengthen through backs of thighs, all the way down into the feet. Maybe the heels start gently dropping into your mat. Pull your sternum, your breastbone forward and through the 2 arms. We're gonna walk the dog just a little bit, just to loosen up. Hi. How are you? Yay. Breathing in, breathing out. Stretch and reach, walk your dog. And 4, this will help loosen up the legs, and 3, and your back, and 2. All right, slowly just press heels away from you, really pull your upper body away from your lower body. 2 opposing directions. Maximal length in your spine. Think of those arm bones rolling outward from your shoulder socket. So we create some more space inside those shoulder joints. All right, so we're gonna take our left leg straight up to the sky. One-legged dog. Point your toes, hips are straight. Now I gently want you to bend the top knee, and then you're just gonna stack that left hip over right hip, but keep your upper body facing down to your mat. We just wanna open that whole side of the hip and ribs. Stretch. Open up that whole side. And slowly rotate, hips face straight ahead, extend back into three-legged dog. Okay, we're gonna go into a little swan. We're gonna fold the left knee towards our left thumb and just drop that leg down to the mat in front. And then you might have to readjust the pelvis. Make sure this back hip over here is facing forward so you don't rotate hips. Back knee points down, top of foot can rest on mat. And then we're just gonna hold here and lengthen up for a moment. So we're gonna do a deep stretch for our hip flexor as well as our piriformis and lateral glute, deep lateral rotators of our hip. So just stay here for a moment and breathe. We're gonna go a little deeper. So we're gonna slowly start to come down to our forearms. Being on your forearms will give you a little extra support so not all of your weight goes through hips and pelvis. Might be more comfortable if you're tight there. If you do wanna go deeper, it's okay if you wanna fold your arms onto your mat and relax your forehead on back of hands. That's okay too. See what is good for you in this moment. We're just gonna stay here and take a few deep breaths. You can go down lower anytime you like. Just feel the tension ease out of your hips with each exhalation. Keeping spine reaching long. We want to avoid rounding our middle back. Maybe you'll go a little lower. You can make fists with your hands if you like more support for your forehead. Bringing the floor up to you. All right, let's do one more deep inhale. And slowly you're gonna press up. Gently walk hands in. Okay, take your back foot. You're gonna curl your toes under. I'm gonna have you lift up your front, your back knee. And then from here, go right into your downward dog for a moment. Just feel how those arm bones twist outward, creating some more space in your shoulder joints. You're gonna lift both heels up and lower both heels down. Really pull your upper body forward as legs lengthen away from your center. Lift and down for 5. Stretch and reach. Scoop your abdominals in and 4. And 3. And 2. All right. Now once your heels come down, I want you to take it into three-legged dog on the other leg. I'm doing my right leg since I started on left. So whichever side you haven't done, switch. pull apart, deep inhale, deep exhale. Gently you're gonna fold the top, the leg that's in three-legged dog, bend the knee. And then I want you to rotate, stack that right hip, whatever leg was in three-legged dog, you're stacking that hip over the bottom. Rotate, open that whole side. Draw your heel towards back of thigh or glutes. You can point toes if that feels better. Open up that whole side. Palms still pressed down into the mat, shoulders face the mat. Open that hip, breathing in, breathing out. Gently rotate both hips back center so your hip points face the mat. Extend back into your three-legged dog. Really lengthen apart. Really stretch that spine long. Now we're gonna fold that right knee. We're gonna walk it through towards our right thumb. So we can do our swan on the other side. You're gonna make sure your hips are aligned, facing straight ahead. That back knee points down. And then we're gonna just make sure that we don't rotate our pelvis, hips are forward. Make sure you pull this back hip, that right hip back, left hip forward. Get into that piriformis, lateral rotators, and stay here for a second and breathe. Lengthen up. We're just settling into the stretch. Back knee points down, foot on mat. So we're going to take our stretch a little deeper. If it feels good, you could stay here. If you feel super tight, you might want to stay up a little higher. We're going to walk down to our forearms, giving our pelvis a little extra support here as we do a deeper stretch for the hips. Just breathe into the tightness, let the tension go. Soften into it with each exhalation. Breathing in, breathing out. If you wish to go a little deeper, you can fold arms, relax either your forehead on backs of hands. If you need a little more support than that, you can make a fist with each one of your hands, stack your hands, stack your fist. Now gently just relax your forehead on top of your fist. Bring the floor up to you. Feel length down each side of waistline. Feel the tension just melt out of that hip and glute. All the way through the front of the hip and down the front of the thigh on the other side. All right, let's do one more deep inhale here. And slowly we're going to take our hands in, lift up. I want you to take your back foot, curl your toes underneath. We're going to lift up that back knee, walk into downward dog. And then from your downward dog here, you're just stretching in opposition, lengthen apart. And then what I want you to do here, you're going to keep your right palm against the mat. You're going to take the left hand. And I want you to either reach to the side of the right knee, down towards the ankle, and just do a little extra stretch, looking under that armpit. Sink the heels down away from you towards mat. And gently release, hands on mat. Now you're going to switch sides. You can either reach to the knee, you can reach down towards other side of the ankle, Look under the arm, deep inhale, exhale, sink those sits bones behind you, just for a little extra twist, and gently release. Okay, from here, we're gonna drop the knees down to the mat, and then I'm gonna have you turn, and we're just gonna go into a little reverse table here. I want you to make sure you unweight the shoulders so the shoulders avoid creeping up. You're gonna unweight shoulders by pressing from the armpits all the way straight down into your palms. You're gonna fold your knees in, keep your collarbones wide apart, opening shoulders, chest, press palms away. Now as you lift up, I want you to gently just press your hips to the sky. So we're going into our little reverse table, drop shoulders out of ears, lifting pelvis, engage glutes, your abdominals are turned on. You're just floating hips to sky. Feel glutes working, relax those shoulders, look straight ahead. Collarbones wide. Breathing in, breathing out. Really press hips towards sky. So you feel a stretch to the front of your hips and your thighs. Protect the neck, eye gaze straight ahead. And one more deep inhale here. Gently bring hips down to your mat. Shake out your knees. We're gonna go into a little caterpillar, Paschimottanasana. We're gonna stretch out your low back, the backs of your thighs. All right, so from here, just gonna float those arms to the sky, lengthen. And now I want you to do a hip hinge. We don't want to bend from our spine. We're going to hinge forward from hips. Reach for your shins, maybe your ankles, maybe your feet, lateral pinky toe side. Pull outward. Feel the inner thigh alignment down the line, and then you're going to gently rotate those legs out so you can connect inner to outer thighs. Pull your breastbone forward and through. Keep that length in your spine. Stay here and breathe. Keeping that length in your spine. You're going to feel where those hamstrings insert into the back of the gluteals. Always hip hinge without folding from the spine. Always hinge from the hips. As you feel a give, release, go a little deeper into your stretch. Keeping breastbone long. Flexing feet for a deeper stretch. One more deep inhale here. And gently we're going to come up. All right. From here, what I want you to do, we're going to do something from Pilates. We're going to do just a little back extension. Bring palms together. Inhale, head away from tailbone. Now I'm going to circle the arms around neutral spine. Palms together, lift up, little extension. Exhales, palms come down and away. One more, hands together. Breathing in, and exhales, hands come down. All right, now we're gonna turn to one side. I'm gonna have you do some side kicks from Pilates now to really engage our core and to work into our obliques. Our obliques go on diagonals here, and they wrap us and they give us support. Like we have our built-in corset wrapping, giving us support for our low back. All right, and it also helps us keep our pelvis stable. When we do anything on our side, we want to make sure that we don't rotate our hips out of alignment. We want to have shoulders, hips, knees, ankles aligned. Careful not to collapse onto your shoulder. You actually connect into your serratus anterior, those upper ribs here, mid-axillary line, and wrapping under the blade for structural support and stability. So you could either have hand on hip, or you could have hand behind head. And what I want you to do here, you're gonna lift up your top leg. Now, the front of your rib cage meets the front of the hip bone. Front ribs meet back ribs, so your torso doesn't move all over the place. And then what you do 2 kicks forward without moving anything, 1 kick back, open up that hip flexor. Exhale, exhale, stretch, work the hamstring, breathing in. Think of a string lifting your breastbone to the sky, and 8. So just move leg, that's all. 7. If you feel your body wobbling, you would do a smaller size kick. 6, chest is open. And 5, collarbones wide, point to go back, flex to go forward. 4 more. Breathing in, exhale. 3 more. Breathing in, exhale, hold steady and stable. 2 more. All right, we're on our last one. You made it. Grab your ankle or your foot, gently just press hips forward as you pull leg back, and get a nice quadricep hip flexor stretch on that side. Breathing in, breathing out. Chest is open, breathing in, breathing out. Chest is open. 1 more. Breathing in, breathing out. Take a hold of your ankle. Now place it on the mat in front of you. Lift those bottom ribs up. Take your bottom leg, you're gonna lift it off the mat. We're just gonna hold it there. And then after we hold it, we're gonna go into small controlled circles without wobbling hips forward or back. Keep hips stabilized. We're gonna do 10. Feel as if your leg is being pulled out of your center, stretching away from you. 8 and 7, keep body stable. 6, 5, 4, think of that string lifting sternum to sky. 3 and 2. All right, we're gonna reverse next direction, other way. Keep everything steady. Those obliques keep wrapping you from underneath. And 7, chest is open, shoulders down, back. 6, 5 and 4 and 3 and 2. All right. Next, you're gonna press up. We're gonna flip. Bring your legs to the other side, and let's work on our alignment all over again. Careful that you don't collapse. Go right under here, that mid-axillary line. Think of anchoring, engage serratus, anchor the blade down into your lat muscle in your back. You're gonna extend those legs out, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles. Careful not to collapse or roll forward. Careful not to break in two. All right, so now you're stretching out. You're creating the length on each side of your waist. And then what I want you to do here, you're gonna take your top leg, maybe hand is behind head, maybe hand is on hip. And then basically, as you go back, think of lengthening each side, breathing in. You keep the rib cage and the hip connected in front. Exhale, exhale. So you're gonna go into the front of the hip and thigh. Then you're gonna go feel those glutes and hamstrings. Breathing in to go back. Exhale. Breathing in. Keep torso steady, stable. Hips stay still, just leg moves. Breathing in, chest open, 8. Breathing in, lengthen spine, 7. Abdominals draw inward, and 6. Breathing in, exhale, and 5. Breathing in, exhale, and 4. Breathe in, exhale, and 3. Keep steady, stable, 2 more. Think of the corset wrapping you. And one last time, breathing in and exhale, pulse, pulse, good. We're gonna take our leg, we're gonna pull it back for a moment. Think of that string lifting breastbone to sky. Feel the front of your hip and thigh, press hip bones forward. Nice psoas quad stretch here. Shoulders away from ears. 2 more deep inhales. Stretch the front of hip and thigh. Helps if you sit at a desk a lot to get those hip flexors to stretch out, as well as your hamstrings, back of upper thigh. Grab your ankle, place your foot in front of you on the mat. Again, keep the length, ribs away from mat. And then I want you to just lift up your bottom leg for a moment. You're just gonna hold it there. Just gonna hold. Feel your inner thigh elongate through there. Bottom ribs wrap. Collarbones wide, neck is long. All right, let's do small controlled circles. Really stretch leg long. Breathing in, breathing out. Use the breath as a pumping mechanism. Ribs wrap in. 8, 7, just move that leg. And 6, control. 5 and 4, hips are stabilized. 3 and 2. Okay, reverse directions for 10 and 9 and 8. 7, wrap those ribs, and 6, and 5, 4, 3, and 2, last one. Good job. All right. Next from here, just fold those knees in. You're gonna press up. Now I'm gonna have you come all the way down onto your mat. And then in Pilates, we're gonna call this flight. In yoga, it's called something else. And what I want you to do, I'm gonna have you think of working the muscles in here. If you lift up your leg like that, your hamstring's working, your knee is bent. I want you to go deeper than that. Lift the abdominal wall away from the mat towards the back of the pelvis for support. And then I want you to stretch the entire leg where the front of your thigh picks off the mat slightly and your glute is really working. And then you do that on the other side. Length is more important than height. So we're gonna do that one leg at a time to work your hip extensors. Relax forehead on mat, alternate leg extensions. Work those hip extensors. Exhale, stretch. Exhale. Cord lifts into spine the entire time. And 7. And 6. Stretch and reach. And 5. And 4. Scoop. And 3 more. And 2. Last one. Now we're going to do both legs. Stretch far and away and down. We'll add the arms in a bit. Stretch away and down. Narrow hip bones together in front. Get that transversus abdominis to fire. Scoop in and 7. Legs reach long. Knees are straight if possible. 6. Point your toes. And 5. Scoop in. 4 more. And 3. And 2. Good. Last one. Shake hips side to side. Release low back, lumbar spine for a moment. Okay, here we're going to add our upper body. We're going to float our arms back. I want you to feel shoulders down away from ears. Chest is open. Neck is long. Avoid pulling your head back so it shortens the back of the neck. Think tilt chin slightly forward and down. Now you're going to lift arms and legs. Chest is open and come back to your mat. Inhale. Exhale. Scoop in tight. And down. Good. Open shoulders, chest. Scoop in. Hold. Really want to strengthen your back extensors too. And exhale for 8. Chest is open and down. And 7. Scoop in. Work those glutes. Legs long. And 6. Scoop in tight. And 5. Stretch. Lift. Lengthen. 4 more. Exhale. 3 more. Exhale. Open shoulders, chest. 2 more. And last one. Gently lower down to your mat. Relax forehead, arm backs of hands. And just rock side to side over your mid-forehead, third eye. Ajna, wisdom center. Come back center. Take your hands under your shoulders. We're going to release our back now, going into our balasana, rest pose. Press up the hands and knees. Now gently, you're just gonna sit straight back, hips over heels. If you want more knee support, have your toes curled under. You don't care about knee support, feet can go flat. And just go straight back into your mat. I'm gonna do a time check, okay. Just stretch top of head away from your tailbone, pull apart. Get that low back to release. Breathe into the middle of your low back. And one more deep inhale. And slowly walk your hands in. Press up. We're just gonna sit on our mat now. We're gonna do a little Baddha Konasana before we end. Take the bottoms, soles of your feet together. You wanna gently start to rotate your femur, thigh bone out and up towards sky as bottoms of feet face upward. That way you have a little bit more support. We never wanna push our knees down. Just think of elongating up. Knees are floating in water. Stretching up, you might wanna grab your toes, rotate feet to sky. And just sit up tall, sink down into your sits bones. Equal weight is on each half of your pelvis right now. It's a little hip opener. Spine is reaching long. If it's within your practice and you can stretch and hip hinge forward over both legs, you can do so to increase your stretch. Stretching, hinging from the hips rather from bending from spine. All right, one more deep inhale here. And slowly we're gonna make our way up, shake out knees a little bit, maybe bring knees together, little wiper, windshield wiper, release those hips. All right, so that concludes our workout for today. Appreciate y'all for joining me. Just gonna sit in Sukhasana, easy pose. Take a deep inhale, reach arms to sky, bring hands together, Anjali Mudra, hands at heart center. Let's take one more deep inhale here. All right, hope you enjoyed getting a little yoga and Pilates into your day or evening, and I'll see you again soon. Take care, everyone. Peace. Thanks again. Appreciate you all. Bye.